Hey up, it's Steve, that old Yorkshire geek, and I think the cat's piddling. What you up to over there? Hang on, just bear with me. Tell you, son's a stare. You're not being naughty there, are you? No, behave yourself. Sorry. Cat were making a noise over there. Behave. Hey up, it's Steve from the old Yorkshire geek, and welcome to episode 116. Yes, 116 of Friday Night Appointment with Fear. This week we're doing the Crazies, the 2010 version. Not the original 1973 George Romero one, which I think I have seen, but a long time ago. But this is the 2010 version, directed by Breck Eisner, and starring what's his face, Timothy Olyphant and Rada Mitchell, and it's a really good film, a really good film. Wynne Grace is here saying crazy like a fox. I don't know, they're just crazy like crazy people in different ways. Some people say it's like a zombie film, but it's not really. It's not really. Less so a zombie film than even say like 28 Days Later or films like that, where they're not zombies, they're infected people. It's that sort of thing, but they don't go like zombies. They just act crazily. But anyway, before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe. Where are we? Over there. Like and subscribe, and drop a comment and all that stuff. Throw a super thanks my way, or a super chat, or whatever, and other stuff. Explore the description for links to various things. Oh, I've got a catty that's looking at Princess, my cat. She sat over there just watching, and we've still got Tabby, who's wandering about. He's been laid asleep all evening. Now he's just decided to wander about and nosy at things. You can't go upstairs. Behave yourself. Go and lie down. Cat. What's his face turns up in almost every film you cover. Yes, he does. And what's her face as well. And Justin 34's here saying hello everyone. Hello Justin 34. I forgot what I was saying now. Oh, right, yes. Links in the description for various stuff like merch, my Patreon, my books. There they are. Mercury Rapids, light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff. Silent Predator short horror novella about big cats eating people in North Yorkshire Village on Amazon Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl. They're the proper printed books, look, with words in and everything. And all that stuff. Right. You, what are you up to? Yes, you. Go lie down. Don't be silly. Anyway, don't have a see. Here, come here. Do you want to see what's going on here? Oh, see, you run off now as soon as I try and pick you up. Don't work with children or animals. Anyway, where were we? Right, so, The Crazies from 2010. As I said, directed by Breck Eisner. I know him from somewhere else. That name rings a bell. I meant to look him up and I forgot. What else has he directed? Let's have a look. He didn't do Friday the 13th, did he? Did he do that remake? Don't know. Let me see. Filmography. No, he didn't do that. I don't think. Movies. Sahara. Oh, I have seen that, Sahara. That's the one with What's-His-Face. And The Last Witch Hunter, which had a couple of What's-His-Faces in it, didn't it? So there we go. So there we go, that's Breck Eisner. Stars Timothy Olyphant, Rada Mitchell, Joe Anderson, and Danielle Panabaker. Is that how you pronounce it? Panabaker. It had a budget of $20 million. It did $54.8 million at the box office. So I suppose it did, I don't know, okay, I suppose. Maybe just about broke even, probably. I think I might have to put this cat out. Come on, you. Come on. Come on, you can go outside, can't you? Come on. I'll get you outside. Oh, you big fat lump. Look, here he is, look. There he is. Come on, you. We'll put you out, eh? Yes, we will. I'm back. We're going to need a cat moderator. Where were we? I've forgotten. Lost my train of thought. I think, yeah, just about broke even, didn't it? I think just about. But it got pretty good reviews. I think it's got like an average, of good reviews. Where it's 71% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is, decent. So there we go. And it is a good film. But as I said, I can't remember what the original were like. I think I have seen it a long time ago. The George Romero one. I'm sure this one's more glossy. Anyway, right. So, and it was filmed in Iowa and Georgia. Yeah. So I think the open plains one areas is like in Georgia, and other places. Not in Georgia, in Iowa, and other stuff's in Georgia. What's his face is always in that one film, yes. Co-starring What's her face and Thingamabob, yes. Anyway, right, so let's get on with it, shall we? We'll go through this film. We're not watching it, so if you're thinking you're just going to see the film here, that some people occasionally post in the comments, it'd be nice to see the film. This isn't Netflix, it's YouTube. If you want to watch it on YouTube, you can rent it on YouTube. Buy or rent, there we go. At least in the UK you can. There you go, buy or rent. I'm not going to click on it, because I've got the Blu-ray. Or you can... That way, yes, I've got the Blu-ray. So do that. I'm sure it's on Prime or whatever as well. Or Tubi or them sort of places. I've no idea. But if you want to watch it on YouTube and stop pestering me. Right, so we'll get on with it, shall we? Be watching it in a series of stills. I'll still probably get a copyright claim. Generally do. I uploaded a video yesterday. My favourite films for each year that I've been born. I decided next week I'm doing a live one. Instead of doing a video, I'm doing a live stream about it. So I thought I'd put my 1967 up to 1985, what I've done so far, into one big video. So it's like a 6-hour video. And uploaded that to YouTube last night. Instantly got blocked for one part of it. Blocked everywhere. So I'm not very happy about that. And there were loads of other copyright claims as well, which are disputed, and they all just got summarily rejected. So it's still blocked because the one that disputed the blockage, and but that one hasn't gone through yet. But the other ones just dispute rejected, no explanation. And I did check them, and they're fine. I think they're fine. I don't think they break anybody's copyright because there's me talking over them. They are transformative. There's me in the corner talking. There's borders around. All that stuff. I don't think it breaks copyright. Fair use. But whatever. I'm waffling, aren't I? I'm going on. Right, we'll get on with this film. And talk about this. So what I've got to do first is do that and pop myself down in the corner of the screen. And I'll add it. Hang on, I'll full screen it, and we'll get on with it. There it is. Right, off it goes. Let's give it a minute. Make sure it's going to start playing. Hello? Oh, whatever. We'll see. Yes, there we go. Overture. Wind howling, it says. Right. I'm sure I've forgot something. I'm sure I have. Oh, I become a member. Yes, that's it. Become a member as well. And then you get early access for stuff. And exclusive things. And exclusive emojis in the chat. Recently I've been doing members-only chat. But I'm trying... The last couple of weeks I've been trying the subscribers only. So you have to be subscribed for about a month. See if that wheedles out the idiots. But we'll see, won't we? We'll see what happens. Right, off we go. Overture, wind howling. And we begin... In a minute, there we go. We see a house burning. Or is it a trailer? Whatever. Somewhere's burning, and then we see a car with a boot on it. And basically, a small town is burning. What's going on there? And we see a... oh, for Pete's sake. We see like a sign naming the town. There it is, look. Ogden Marsh. The town of Ogden Marsh. So it's burning. So they're like spoiling the film from the start, aren't they? But there you go. And then it goes 2 days earlier. Why do they have to do that? Why do they just start the film like this and then we can build up to that? I suppose they're trying to grab you at the beginning. We don't need grabbing. Just get on with it. Anyway. And is it Johnny Cash, this? I don't know if it's Johnny Cash singing this. I don't think it says in the trivia. It sounds like him, but I'm not sure. Oh, yes, it is. The film opens with the song We'll Meet Again as performed by Johnny Cash, yes. Okie dokie. Right. Right, sorry, I'm just checking something. Shazam it. I have no idea. Right. So we're seeing this a small town in Iowa. Maybe James T. Kirk knows it. I don't know, because he was born in Iowa, wasn't it? But it's called Ogden Marsh. We see it's a small town. People doing farming things. There you go. It's on the plains, the prairies, whatever you want to call it. And we're seeing, that it's obviously, they've got I think it's a baseball team, the Tigers, and all that stuff. I think it was filmed. This battle filmed in I can't remember. Lenox, that's it. Lenox, Iowa is when it shows the main street. It's Lenox, Iowa, and the director. I watched the special features and the director's commentary on here earlier on, and he says it's pretty quiet. He says when it's like this, that's like this through the week, but at the weekend there's never anybody about. But anyway, there we go. Shazam is an app. Oh, right. I thought you were on about Shazam from DC. It'll identify any song you play for it. Oh, right. Yeah, actually, yes, I've heard of it. I've heard of that. But I haven't got it. Anyway. Can't put it on my phone because I've got a stupid phone and it gets full. And I don't know why it's full because there's not a lot on it. And it's doing me head in. It keeps telling me your phone's nearly full. And I keep deleting apps. And I don't know what else to get rid of. And I haven't got that much on it. And it does me head in. But anyway, first world problems. Right, so here we go. Seeing the small town family medical clinic. And this is where we meet Daniel Panabaker. You may know from he's in that Friday the 13th remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it. It's also in which one was it now? Was it The Flash she were in? I think it's in The Flash series. Was it The Flash? I think it was, wasn't it? It's been in other stuff as well. She plays... I can't remember. Is it Bess or Beth? What am I like? Becca. I knew it had a B. She plays Becca, presumably short for Rebecca. Who was an assistant, a nurse maybe, I don't know. For the doctor, who is Radha Mitchell, there she is. We may know from Pitch Black, Silent Hill, loads of stuff. And she's saying, my aunt's in town, and so I can't, I've got to get home and all that stuff. But the doctor knows. It's Judy, by the way. She says, I know your aunt's not in town. You want to go to the game with your boyfriend Scotty, and she says, go on, off you go. And I'd have said, no, you're stopping back now because you lied to me. But she don't, because she's a nice person, because she's a doctor. And there you go. So they're all smiles. Right, so here we meet Timothy Olyphant, who's been in loads of stuff, Mandalorian, Santa Clarita Diet. He played Agent 47, didn't he, in Hitman, the first Hitman film, and 1,000,001 other things. Yes, she was in The Flash for the whole run. Dear. Unfortunate typo there from Windgraves. Here he is getting a free coffee from the principal of the high school. But he says the principal still has to pay his parking tickets. Then he says, run him a tab. So we're getting to meet some of the townsfolk who are all going to go crazy, mostly, as we'll see. Anyway, so there they are, playing baseball and all that stuff. There's the principal again. I think he's called Ben. We'll see him again later. But somebody starts walking onto the pitch. This is Rory Hamill, we learn. Just says that in the middle of the game, just walks onto the pitch with a shotgun in his hand, acting a bit weird. So, Timothy Oliphant, who plays Pete. You know what I'm like with names? Why don't I write these down? David. Where'd they get Pete from? I've no idea. Is anybody called Pete in this film? No, there isn't. I can't see a Pete in the credits list at all. Where the hell did I get Pete from? David. He plays David. He's the sheriff of the town. We don't get much backstory about there for any of these characters. They're just there. But, so he's the sheriff of a small town with like only 1,000 people live in the town. 1,260 or whatever people live in this town. And there's the sheriff and there's deputy, who is called something or other. Russell. Russell Clank. Apparently there was a character called Clank in the original one, who played the deputy, I presume. But they didn't it was just called Clank, but they didn't just want to call him Clank, so they called him Russell Clank. So he's there, played by Joe Anderson, who's British, English to be exact. So there we go. So we've got Ryder Mitchell, who's Australian, and Joe Anderson, who's English. Multinational cast in playing a small town American people. Anyway, so they go running on and tell everybody to get out of the way and all that. He just walks on. Acting weird, he's bleeding from his nose, look, and he's like unresponsive. He's saying put the gun down, but he doesn't. Even he aims it at the sheriff, and looks like he's going to fire. So the sheriff has no choice but to put him down, which he does. Bang, like that. Minecraft's him. That's my current favourite thing for saying. So he's killed Rory, and then we go to a satellite image. All sparkly effects, sound effects going and all that. Hang on, and there we go. It all comes on. Ogden Marsh Township, population, right, 1,260. But then down here at the bottom, if you can read, it says Trixie, and then Scarlet Omega with code numbers afterwards. But Trixie is the virus. I'm sure it's short for something, but I don't know what. Maybe it says in the trivia. Let's have a read. Does it say? Because I don't think they actually say. It says what it is. It says it Trixie, it's something or other. But I don't know if I presume it's short for something. It don't bloody say. It don't bloody say. Maybe nobody knows. Nobody knows. Let's have a look on Wikipedia, see if that tells us. Oh, I'm holding my hand there for. That's Rhabdoviridae prototype called Trixie. Maybe that's just a code name. I don't know. But anyway, so satellites watching them. They show that a couple of times during the course of the film. There we go. Title: The Crazies. Right. This is the sheriff and the coroner, I suppose, mortician or whatever, checking on Rory's body, and he says he'll have the. Because he thinks Rory were drunk, because apparently he was the town drunk, but for 2 years he hadn't touched a drop. So, but they're thinking he's fallen off the wagon. But he says I'll have the toxicology, the whatever, by morning, but the other tests will be later in the week. But they'll know by morning if he's got alcohol in his system. And anyway, and you'd think I know it's supposed to be the stoic, leader of this, main star of this film, and it does show it that it has upset him what he's done, but I think they could have done more, to be honest. But anyway, has he ever had to shoot anybody? I don't know. Like I said, we get no backstory. Is he a former soldier who's become a sheriff? Maybe he's killed loads of people. I don't know. But anyway, he did what he had to do, I suppose. But anyway, this is the wife and son of Rory. Obviously, the son's not happy. He looks familiar. I've seen him in something else. I'm not going to look him up. So he says sorry and all that, and he actually says he was drunk, and she says no, he hadn't touched a drop for 2 years. Then she slaps him really badly. He's been drinking, that's all. You know how proud he was. You're saying that you killed the town drunk, and then she slaps him, and here we go. You know, I'd have said, can you do that again, love, but a bit harder if I were the director. But never mind. So she slapped him. It's like Jaws, isn't it, when Roy Scheider gets slapped by Alex Kintner's mother, Mrs. Kintner. Anyway, right, so we're at the... well, everybody seems to live on a farm somewhere that's like 5 miles outside the town. They're all dotted about everywhere. It's a sprawling community in the middle of the prairies, so to speak. So, and you see for miles in every direction. Right, so anyway, Judy wakes up. I'm presuming it's like early in the morning. She gets up, she hears this noise, and he's up doing woodworking things because, there we go. We get a look as Judy walks past. There we go. They're doing a nursery because Judy's pregnant. She's expecting a baby, so he's building things for a nursery. Just go to, Baby's Arrows or whatever's replaced that now, and just buy things. You have to make everything. Bloody hell. Go to Cedar Falls, the nearest town or city or whatever. They'll have something there you can buy. Where were we? So this is where he's been sad about what he's had to do, and so he's throwing himself into manual labour. And she says, you did the right thing, and then he doesn't say anything. There you go. But he doesn't say anything. And I'd have added a little, he'd have said, yeah, I know I did, but I wish I didn't have had to have done it. But anyway, Rory was a good man and all that stuff. They should have said something like that, shouldn't they? I just don't get it. Anyway, right, so he goes into work. Anyway, right, so he gets the phone call from the medical examiner, that's who he was. No alcohol in his blood. So what caused him to go crazy? We'll find out in a bit. So he was going to write it on here, look. 0.0. There you go. Right, so he's gone back out to the scene of the crime, so to speak, where he's just having a think. But there's Ben just sitting and staring and looking weird. Yes, it's Quincy, M.E. It's Jack Klugman. And Ben's looking a bit weird, and then he suddenly comes round and says, oh, yeah, I've got stuff to do. So I think Ben's being infected. We find out pretty quickly what's causing it, and the only way we find out is that David says, I think it's this, and it turns out it is. We don't get any like tests or anything like that. But anyway. Meanwhile, at the doctor's, at Judy's doctor's, she's coming. Don't ask me her name. I can't remember. But this is... it says there. This is Bill. Hang on. Let's have a look. Bill. Pardon me. Come on, where are they? Where's Bill? Where the hell is he in this thing? He should be quite high up because of the... Bill Farnham. There we go. Deirdre... and she reminds me of Amy Adams. Everybody's now saying she looks nothing like Amy Adams, but she reminds me of Amy Adams. It's actually Christy Lynn Smith. Anyway, and I think that's Nicholas, their son. Anyway, she's saying Bill's being a bit weird. There's something wrong with him, and it's because he's sitting there, basically like a nutter, just sitting there. So she takes his blood pressure and all that, and I think tell us that everything seems to be okay. And he says, I'm fine, I'm just tired. And he kind of repeats that. So, anyway, she sends him home. He goes, his vitals are fine. Oh, she's talking to Amy Adams. I think it's basically says, just keep an eye on him and let me know if anything changes. And I think she does look like Amy Adams. But anyway. Right, so we go to the... I forgot to call him now. Farnham's farm with a CG moon hanging in the sky. And there he goes. We hear a noise outside, and so she goes to check in the barn. We don't know where William is. And she goes and you see the combine harvester's going, look, there it is, saying, William, what you doing? Apparently, originally, in the original script, the combine harvester was supposed to be going round in a circle outside, but they didn't have the budget to like set all that up, for the effects people to do it all. So I thought, we'll just have it in the barn, and it's just been switched on. And you're watching it for a bit, and you think she's going to get got here, she's going to get run over by the combine harvester, but she don't. She doesn't, so she gets into the thing. He's not there, so she switches it off. And then she hears a scream. She's saying, William, where are you? And she hears Nicholas screaming, so she goes running back to the house. There's his, is it a DS? Game Boy DS? I don't know. On the floor. We saw him playing earlier. She goes running upstairs, and then she finds him, and he says, Dad's got a knife. So they hide in a closet. And then they hear Bill coming upstairs. There he is, with his knife in his hand. And I think he locks does he lock the door here? Let's have a look. I've never noticed before, but they can't get out suddenly. I don't know if we just hear him lock the door or what. I don't know, but they can't get out all of a sudden. No, he just walked off, hasn't he? Look, she can't get out. I'm guessing he's locked it, but that's not a knife. Hang on. Clue as to what might be coming up on the Magnificent Monday soon. That's a knife. Got Crocodile Dundee there. Curiously. Anyway, they can't get out, and then suddenly we see Bill pouring petrol or whatever, gasoline to you people over there, all down the stairs, and he basically just sets the house on fire. Off it goes. Vroom. And they're locked in the closet. And the phone rings at David's house. He answers it. I'll be right there. He goes bombing over with her as well, because she's the town doctor. We see the house is ablaze. He's outside. Deirdre and Nicholas are dead, burned to death in the closet, and he's just sitting there whistling. Starts whistling. And she says, What have you done? And there he goes whistling, look. Does it say what he's whistling? No, just whistling. Says, What have you done? So there we go. And they lock him up. They put him in the jail. Right, we're out in a marsh or whatever it is, like Southern Comfort, innit? Some hunters are out hunting in the marsh. I think they're doing duck calls. You hear that the duck call thing. But it's off season, so they're breaking the law. But we see these hunters later. They are baddies. Or they will be. Anyway, they come across something. There you go. They see a parachute there, and then they find who belonged to the parachute in a minute. Here we go. There we go. And they find a dead body. So obviously they call it in. All right. This is where we learn that Bill is in jail. There go state troopers are coming this afternoon to pick him up. They're going to take him to Cedar Rapids or whatever. And he's just standing there in the cell. He's been there for a couple of hours, just standing, staring. So anyway, they've got to go out and deal with this now, along with the medical examiner. So they're wondering what's going on here. And that Russ remembers that a couple of weeks ago he got a call from Jesse. I don't know, but does it say? Oh, it says here. Look. Travis. I was close. What am I like with Travis Quinn said he heard a noise like a plane crashing. You'd think a plane crash. You'd think others would see it, wouldn't you? Unless it were in the middle of the night or whatever. I don't know. And remember, it's a sprawling area, so it could be miles and miles away. But anyway, that he thought he saw a plane crash in the whatever they call it. There we go. Hortman Bog. In the bog. That's something from Hound of the Baskervilles, isn't it? So then, I didn't think anything of it because Travis is, full of that, full of tish. So anyway, they go out, they get Travis with his boat, and they go out to look for the plane that's crashed. And they find it. Here we go. There you go. It's there at the bottom of the bog, with bits of it sticking out. You'd have thought they'd noticed that first, wouldn't you? With the big propeller sticking out of the water. Anyway, then I think we're cutting to the satellite again. There we go. Satellite's there, watching them as usual. But it's changed. Look, it's telling us the latitude and longitude, which I think is a real place. I think it's in the trivia here somewhere. These coordinates there do in fact point to Iowa, but to farmland and not to the marshes as depicted. Right, there you go. I'll take their word for it. I have no idea if that's true. But, oops, there we go. Initiate containment protocol. Dun dun dun. Right. So they head back to the sheriff's station. Ogden Marsh Town. Oh no, they're not going back. They're going to the town planner's office. That's where they're going. This is where he's had his idea. Don't know why he's thinking this, but he's got his idea that something's happened with the water. They say if the plane crashed, they're saying why hasn't anybody come looking for it? First off, because it's obviously a military plane, and they said well it depends on the payload. So obviously he's just thinking maybe there's something in it that's got into the water. So apparently the water comes from that bog or the marsh, whatever, and into like the local reservoir, and then into the the water filtration system or whatever. So he wants to find out. Ooh, that princess, and my cat throwing a penny. He wants to find out where the who gets the water first from the water filtration system. But it doesn't really work like that, does it? I don't know. But anyway, so they ask this fella. So he gets his map out, and it turns out it's Rory's house. They're first that gets the water from the water treatment plant. But it doesn't just stop there. It goes to other places as well. It doesn't take like days to get between houses. But anyway, whatever. Rory's first. So he's going to go over to see the mayor who's got a swimming pool in the middle of nowhere, it seems. I'm guessing it's supposed to be next to his house, but we don't see the house. We just see like a gazebo and a swimming pool. And obviously the mayor won't let him close the beaches. Shut down the town water supply. He says no. There you go. You'll kill the town if you turn off the water, so the water stays on. So off he goes to the local water tower, and just turns off the water anyway, because he's the sheriff and he can do what he likes. So anyway, they get back to the station, and we see that something's happened with Bill. There we go. He's been doing something that's caused blood to happen, and he looks dead. But then we see he moves, and suddenly comes back to life and goes ah, and grabs for him. Hang on, there we go. There we go. Makes a grab. You see, he's gone all veiny. They did try different sort of like makeups. Including having him covered in blisters and boils or broken skin where they've caught this virus, around the mouth and stuff, and around their eyes and the mucous membrane and all that stuff. But every time they said they just look like zombies, and these aren't zombies; they're infected people, aren't they? So they ended up just making them look a bit, they've got veins and they've got distended, whatever, in the necks, taut tendons and stuff in the necks. So they're like that. So there you go. So it don't look well. Apparently, you get a temperature as well. Your blood pressure must go up or whatever, and you get a high temperature, which we'll learn later. I also learned that the phones are out and the internet's out. Because he checks Tinternet in a minute. There you go. Checks Tinternet. OgdenMarshSheriff.com. Wonder if that's a real thing. No Tinternet. And he goes out, gets his phone, his cell phone, or mobile phone if you're British, and there's no service for that. And then, for some reason, it singles out this vehicle here in a minute. It must be one he must know all the other cars. He doesn't recognise this one, this black vehicle there. But first, a woman comes cycling out. Is she a crazy? Is she infected? Because she's singing away. apparently her character, whatever she's called, is in the original. I said, I don't know, I can't remember. But they wanted her to be in it. Right, so somebody's taking pictures. Somebody's taking pictures of him from that car, and he's going to heads over to him, but it drives off. There you go, off it goes, it drives away. So something's up. He hears a noise. Now we go in the funeral home, which is where the medical examiner is. So he goes over to check that out. And there's nobody about. And then for some reason he checks these bodies. There we go. He opens one up, and we see this one's had. Has he had his eyes sewn up or just cut? I don't know. I can't make out what's happened there. Bit gruesome. But then he hears a noise under another cloth. And he pulls the cloth back, and it's the priest, the vicar, whatever. I don't know. He's had his eyes and his mouth sewn up, and he's still alive. And then he cuts the stitches, and he says, behind you. So he's obviously still can see. He says, behind you. And I think it's the medical examiner. He gives him a good clout with the. Yes, it is. Gives him a clout with that metal pole rod thing. Whatever it is. Let's make sure we're going. That's something I forgot. I usually say it, don't I? We're live on YouTube. We're live on Rumble. Remember to keep an eye out for Rumble chats. And we're live on Twitch. Yes, we are. Right. So he whacks him, stuns him for a bit, so he's a bit dazed. But then, when he sort of comes to a bit, we see that the medical examiner's trying to kill him with a bone saw. And I was watching it, I was going, bone saw is ready. Oh, yeah. But anyway, so they're having a bit of a fight with his bone saw, and he sort of overpowers him, and the medical examiner essentially kills himself with the bone saw. So he falls on the floor, but then the bone saw starts heading for him, coming across the ground, a bit like that in Gremlins, where that chainsaw's heading towards Billy, isn't it? By itself. Apparently this was the first, I don't know if it was the first day or the second day of shooting, he said, and we had to work out how to get this bone saw to head for Timothy Olyphant. They ended up, it was just attached to a wire, and they just pulled it towards him. And CG'd out the wire. And he went, ooh, look, hey! He's doing a Boimler then, wasn't he? Windgrace knows what I mean. And it just stops just in time because Russ has arrived and he stood on the cable, and then he pulls the plug out. Right, what's going on? Right, so David goes home and he tells Judy to get out of town to go to her parents. She says, I'm not going anywhere, I'm the town doctor. But then something... she looks at the window, she says, there's somebody out there. So he goes to check on the barn. Nobody there, but when he comes out, there's loads of soldiers in a minute. Behave yourself, cat. There we go, loads of soldiers. In hazard gear, whatever they call it, in gas masks. Bundle them all onto a bus, and he sees that Russ is there on the bus in a minute. There he is, Russ is there on the bus. He was on his way to Cedar Rapids, apparently. I don't know why, but he was. And he says they spiked his truck, and we see his truck later on in the film. Did a spike thing where they burst his tyres so he couldn't get out of town. There you go. So they're moving everybody out, it seems. And here we are at... Quick Phil's truck stop, which they're using as a base. There's got loads of school buses and stuff, and they're testing people with testing them, with a thermometer thing to check their body temperature. And it's all scary and noisy. Anyway, it seems that Judy's temperature's up. It causes an alarm to go off, and they drag her off. Drag David off in a different direction. Obviously, he resists and gets knocked out. Then Judy wakes up on a gurney, being moved down a corridor in the high school. They moved them to the high school. So she's strapped down on a gurney. They're moving her in. They give her some gas to knock her out. Then he wakes up. There's David in like a cattle truck. Anyway, they get them all out. So we're moving you out of town, moving you, away, getting you out of town, whatever. If you're not infected, Anyway, at the school, or is it the school? Yes, at the school, something happens. Here we go. Some people, it says the names later on, but I can't remember who. I thought it was the fire department or something. It looks like a bit like a fire department truck. I don't know. And they seem to be in these uniforms. Anyway, they just jump out. They start shooting at the soldiers and all that. So there's battle ensuing. Then all these people all panic and all run down here and smash through this fence. Why they just run through that hole that's there that the truck's made? I don't know. But there you go. They smash through this fence. They go running for it. So all hell breaks loose. But that's at the high school. These are at a truck stop. Oh, and Justin 34's $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Happy Friday, he says. Yes, it is now. Thank you very much. That's super duper kind for you, for me, of you. Oh, crikey. I never know what to say. I ask for super chats and I never know what to say when I actually get one. But thank you very much. That's super kind. It is really, really kind. And it helps. It does help. If I ever get paid by YouTube, which I should do soon, I think. Anyway. Right. He meets... I think this is the fellow that was in the town planner's office, I think. The fellow that had the map and all that. I think that's him. And he says his wife were taken away as well. And he says Judy were taken away. And he says, I'm going to go and find her. And he says, no, don't, because we've got to get out of here. And he says, don't ask me why I'm going to go and save my wife. And I won't ask you why you think you don't want to or whatever. But anyway. And then it just disappears in the blink of an eye in this bit. To see if I can get it right. He's standing there and he says, I'm going to go and get Judy. And then a truck goes by. Here it goes. And he's not there anymore. So did he just grab onto the truck and go? Because they're all like, where's he gone? But anyway, it goes back into town. And we also learned, by the way, this truck stop is 20 miles outside of town where they're at. I think that's where they are. I think it's... Oh, no, they might just be at the school, might they? They might just be at the school for now. I'm not actually sure where they are, because all the school buses were there, weren't they? I'm not sure what's going on. Anyway, I know she's at the school. Anyway, there you go. The Crazies have breached the containment area and they're pulling everybody out and all the helicopters start taking off and leaving. This film was made with no cooperation from, the American military because they're not exactly painted in a good light in this film. So what they did, I can't remember if it was Iowa or somebody in Iowa or somebody in Georgia. I can't remember which one. Like a group that bought old Apache and old military helicopters and renovated them and stuff like that, and that's where they got the helicopters from in this film. The real ones. Some of them are CG, some of them are real ones. And so they're pulling out. There you go. They're just shooting people willy nilly. But some of them are acting like crazy people. Look at just attacking people. And anyway. Right, what's happening here? All right, he's gone. He's gone back to the police station now. See, I think Bill's dead. Looks like somebody shot him. I think, maybe. Anyway, so he goes. I presume the military's shot him, gone in there and done away with him. Princess, you've left the door wide open. I mean, no wonder I'm bloody freezing cold. Bloody cat. Anyway, where were we? He sees the. I think he had a weapons locker, and it's being cleared out. But he's got a 6-shooter in his desk, so he takes that. And I think the director in the commentary, I think he said he's like a second generation. It's the only bit of backstory we get. I think he's like a second generation sheriff. I think he said his dad was a sheriff as well of this town, so that might be his dad's gun, maybe, because it's got had the sheriff's badge, didn't it, with it? So maybe, I don't know. He's also got an old police cruiser in his barn, which we saw under a tarp earlier on, but it's got no wheels on it. So maybe that was his dad's as well. But that's the only backstory we get. Anyway, there he's loading up the gun, but then he hears a noise. But it's Russ. Russ has arrived. Oh, and there's where he's telling what. Tom Ellis ran his pickup through the fence, and all hell broke loose. he's telling him about what's happened to Judy. He says she's not sick. Her temperature was high because she's pregnant and all that. He says, I'm going to go get her. So that's what they plan to do. Anyway, they arrive there. The military's pulled out. It seems. Man laughing somewhere. Anyway, so we see that Becca's there tied to another gurney. And she's saying everything will be okay, but then we hear some scraping, and Ben arrives. The principal of the school arrives, pulling a garden fork. I'm going to show it. He's got a garden fork with him. There it is. Look, pulling that with him, and obviously he's infected because he's not acting right. And he goes up to people and just starts stabbing them with the garden fork, like so. So he's going to go over. He's going to kill Becca with the fork. That's not it. That was the person before Becca. So she's like, "Oh God, no, no!" And he's just about to get Becca, and she shouts. She goes, "No!" and draws his attention away, and he's going to go over and kill Judy instead. There he goes, dragging the trailer shot, isn't it? That dragging the fork along. And he's just about to kill her. And then they've got gunshot, pew pew. No, not pew pew, but look, just in time, he gets shot by David. There we go. And Russ have arrived, so they get Becca, leave everybody. Everybody else must be dead, I'm guessing. There must have just been two other people left alive. I don't know, but they've left everybody else. I hope there was nobody else that were fine. Anyway. This woman saying, "Did Peter call?" This old woman's just going to every dead body out there and just saying, "Did Peter call?" So I'm guessing she's infected as well, because it affects people differently. Some people do stuff like that, what she's doing. You say, "Did Peter call?" Some people get all murderous. Some people get quiet. I say, it affects people in different ways. But apparently, once you're infected with it, you're 48 hours and then you just die. Apparently, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that works, to be honest. But anyway. Right. So they're going to try and get out of town. And I think it's where Russ says that they're moving everybody to Quick Phil's truck stop. And they're getting everybody out. So off they go. All right, but he says... all right, they get to the town. There we go. And we learned that all the cars that are in town have been booted. They've had wheel clamps, we call them here. They've been clamped. So they can't use any of the cars. But then he finds one here that's a pickup truck that hasn't been clamped. And he gets in and he's looking for keys, I presume. But then David notices all blood pouring from the tailgate. He says, "Get out of the truck." And then we hear a gunshot and the fella comes running out. Here he comes. They get him. Bang! They get him. It's the hunters that we saw earlier on. I'm guessing they're supposed to be infected. And so they're just acting, really vicious and like hunters now. And they're just killing people and throwing them in the back of their pickup truck. Like you would with like deer and stuff like that. But they look fine right now. But later on when we see them, they're all going all veiny and stuff. But anyway. But later on when we see them, it's more than 48 hours after. We're told it is anyway, and they're not dead, so I don't know. But anyway, they drag him off there. We go throw him in the back of the pickup truck with all the other dead bodies. These are the hunters. They made him recognisable because one of them's got a mohawk. He's a big fella with a mohawk. Oh, apparently he's a wrestler. I don't know if he wrestles for WWE. I don't know. I don't even know his name, so I can't. Let's have a look. Is it him? Is it Brett Wagner? Let's have a look, because that might look like him. Oh, yes, it is. Brett Big Schwag Wagner. Yes, he was a wrestler, but I don't know if he wrestled in WWE or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, apparently he's played Leatherface and Jason Voorhees, apparently. I don't know, but anyway. Anywho, so anyway, they're hiding from them, and off they drive. So they said, well, we've got to get out of town, and he says, in my barn there's the old cruiser, but it's got no wheels on it. If there's no wheels on it, they can't boot it, can they? Can the military? I presume it's the military that's done it all. So, but it's 5 miles. No, it says my house is 7 miles out of town. There you go, 7 miles where he out of town. But it says it's 5 miles if we cut through the McGregor farm. So we'll get the wheels on the car, and then go to Quick Fills where they're taking everybody out of town. And it's 20 miles to Quick Fills. It's a big truck stop out 20 miles out of town. So here they are heading through the McGregor farm. I thought that was a big bridge at first, but I think is it like a sprinkler thing? I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. But are they walking under it, or is it just a perspective thing? I'm not sure. But anyway, she runs off. She sees lights on at the McGregor farm, so she goes running towards it. And Scotty McGregor is her boyfriend, that she wanted to see at the baseball game. So she's running to see if he's there. So they're good follower, and Scotty is there with a gun. It doesn't seem to be infected. Yes, that's for irrigation. There we go. But it looked like a big bridge or something, didn't it? That's what I thought it was at first. I thought, what's that big bridge doing there? Anyway, so there's a little bit of a standoff here. He's got a rifle, they've got guns, and he says, we're not infected, we're fine. So they hide in the barn because there we go, some soldiers appear. And they're going to the farmhouse, and I think they're dragging out Scotty's mother. And so Scotty goes running out. He goes running out. They just shoot him, and then she goes running out. They shoot her as well, and then burn him. Get the flamethrower thing out. Look, there we go. Just burn the bodies. Anyway, so they start searching. They're hiding in the barn. And a soldier comes and to investigate, and they hit him and drag him to the back and rip his mask off. And they question him, and he says, "I don't know anything. We was told to come here, told to keep us masks on, because he thinks he's going to die now. They've taken his mask off." Says we didn't even know what state we were in. We were just brought in and told to only following orders basically. He says, if you let me go, I won't tell anybody, honest. I didn't come here, there we go, I didn't sign up to shoot unarmed civilians. I won't tell them. So he trusts him, does David, and let him go. And it's as good as his word. He doesn't let on that they were there. So they've got away with that. There we go, mount up, we're moving out. Right, so they get to David. They've got to head to David's farm now. And here it is. And there's another car booted. She's moaning here now about, well, not moaning, but she's saying, this town's dead now. What we're going to do? Where we're going to bring up our baby? Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, right, they get to his barn. Where's the old police cruiser in there? And they put wheels on it. And while they're doing that, Judy goes in the house to pick up some bits and bobs, but there she goes into the nursery. But she doesn't realise there's somebody already in there. It's Rory's wife. Can't remember her name. Let's have a look. I'm thinking Mary. Probably wrong. I am. Peggy. I just make things up, don't I? Rory's wife's Peggy, and his son is Kurt. Anyway, I'm dying for a wee. I went for one just before I started. Now I need to, because she's left the door open and it's cold. I'll struggle on. But if you see me jiggling about, it's because I need a wee. Anyway, she's standing behind her, looking not well, bleeding from her nose. Anyway, David comes in. Picking up some bits and bobs as well. In his call, he's saying, Judy, where are you? And all that stuff. And as he goes into the room, the nurse, he sees Judy's tied up. And then Kurt gets him from behind with a cable thing. Starts throttling him. Drops his gun. Reaches to pick it up, and Peggy stabs him in the hand with a knife. In a minute, there you go. There you go. Pins him to the floor. I'm going to have to go for a wee. Just bear with me. I'll take that off. Right. Oh. There we go. I won't be a moment. Shut this door, bloody cat. Very not cold air in and making me need to wee. I'm back. Oh, hang on. Where were we? I need one of those, what do they call them? You remember, do you ever get, I don't know if in America or what, I don't know, but you get like these little catalogue things through the post, drop through the letterbox, through the mail, and they have all things inside that you never use or you never need, you know, like solar-powered lights for your garden and gun cleaning kits and stuff like that. And they always have invisible sheath urinals that you wear inside your trousers. I need one of those, don't I? A me-wee, or whatever. They're called me-wees, or she-wee, isn't it, for women? And me-wees for men, whatever. Right. Where were we? Oh, yes. And she picked up his gun, and she says, "This is the gun that killed my husband." Yes, we get that stuff, yeah. We get them as well. I forgot what they call it. Something like Easy Living, or something like that is the name of the catalogue. Things for getting cat fur out of furniture and, you know, stuff like that in it. Anyway, she says this is the gun that killed that killed your father. As you can see, they're all veiny. Look, he's got all veins in his neck. He's gonna, and for some reason she just shoots it. I'm guessing it's a 6-shooter, by the way. I'm guessing it's got 6 bullets in. So she finds it once there, just randomly. And she's going to kill Judy, so he's shouting to her, "You know, I killed Rory, and I did the right thing. I shot the town drunk," and that obviously distracts her. So she goes over to him, and he knocks the gun from her hand and gets his hand off from the floor and stabs her in the neck with the thingamabob, the knife. So he's killed her with the knife. Sorry, Minecrafted her with the knife. Better living, I think, is what we get. That might be what we got, something like that. There's an easy living, a better living, or something like that. It might be that. Might be probably the same company, probably. Anyway. So it kills Peggy, and he does this instead of just taking his hand away with the knife still in it. He pulls it out while he's still got his hand on her neck. I'm not exactly sure why, but anyway, it's all gruesome. So she's dead, and as she falls, we see that Kurt's there. He's picked up the gun and is about to shoot David, but boom, he gets shot first. And we see that Russ is outside. I'm going to show it. There we go. Russ obviously saw it through the window. So everything going on through closed curtains. And took out Kurt. anyway, so he comes in. And this is the first inkling, by the way, that something's wrong with Russ, but I'm not sure if he's infected or not, if it's just the situation has just like sent him a bit round the bend. Because he never goes veiny or out like that. But anyway, right, they untie her and they see to his hand. Meanwhile, Russ picks up his gun. Right, remember, there's already been one shot fired, so I want to know how many other shots there are. I watched it earlier on and I forgot to count them, so let's have a listen. Hang on, has he done any yet? No, not yet. Right, here we go. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yes, used all the bullets up. Yes, so and she fired one off earlier, didn't she? Yes, so fair enough. I let them off. Let them off. There you go. He says, just making sure. He just finished them off. So it's as though something's up. And Judy does say he's sick. You know, he's never acted like that before. There he goes, just sitting, staring out. But David says, well, we don't know that, you know. But anyway, so they fix the car and they're heading out to, I forgot to call it already, Quick Phil's. I don't know if it's named after a fella called Phil or if it's just a play on the word, you know, like it's a truck stop with gas station, Quick Phil, and all that, I don't know, but anyway. She starts coughing. There's Becca, but nobody else coughs, so... but it makes Russ think that she's sick. They say, no, she's fine. But anyway, so it's obviously, it's all going wrong. Yes, then a helicopter flies over. There it is. Helicopter flies over, and it turns around, starts following them. So they go and hide in a here we are in a car wash, which is actually, it's not a car wash. It's actually a crop dusting planes hangar, which they just converted into a car wash for the purposes of this film. So anyway, they go and hide in there. It's obviously an easily bamboozled helicopter pilot. I wonder where they could be. But anyway, they're flying about. Quick Fill is a real gas station here. Yeah, but it's spelt differently. It's Quick Fill, you know, like the name. So it might be a play on words for that as well. Yes, it might be. But they do get there eventually. So anyway, they're in the hiding out in the car wash and thinking, we've got to find a way to get out of town without them seeing us. And he says, what magic road is going to enable us to get anywhere where they can't see us? Because remember, it's the plains, it's the prairies or whatever. You can see for a million miles in all directions. There's nowhere for them to go where they won't be seen. But anyways, that's what he's saying there. But then Becca sees somebody. Somebody was back there. And then the car wash turns on. And they start getting attacked. And then the rollers come out, start moving the car. And they start getting attacked by Crazies in the car wash. Sounds like a song, that, doesn't it? Crazy in the car wash. So while that's going on, they're getting attacked. And he starts shooting with his shotgun out the window, and he smashes the window. It looked a bit CG, did that, didn't it? That window smash. Very CG, wasn't it? So they're fighting away, smashing all the windows and all that stuff. Hang on just a minute. And somebody grabs Becca and wraps a pipe around her neck, you know, one of the car wash tubes. In a minute. Where is it? There she's looking out, and he appears. There we go. Wraps that round her neck, and as they're moving forwards, she gets pulled out the back of the car and hanged. So they stop and they get out, kill the couple of crazies that are left. They get her down, but no, she has expired. So they're all sad. Oh no. So anyway, yes, and as they're grieving over the loss of Becca, this happens in a minute. Boom! There we go. The helicopter gets the police car and then flies over. Hang on. So we get that. There we go. then the helicopter flies over, which they did in four shots. They did what they call a plate. They did a plate of them watching, from inside. Then they did a plate without anybody there. They did a plate with the police car getting blown up. And then they did a plate with the helicopter flying over. And then, composited them all digitally. Anyway. And then he has a good laugh about it, does Russ. That's it. I think it's just the situation. He's just gone a bit loopy because of the situation. It's war craziness or whatever. But it's like what next? Anyway, so they've got to walk now. So they're walking. This is where they find his truck. I think yes, it is. That's Russ's truck they were in when they spiked his wheels. Don't know who's that was. That car. But she says, we need water. So she's looking for water. They can't find any. But then another car's coming. And it turns out it's that car that he saw earlier on. That were taking photos of him. So he says, I'm going to stop that car. So he gets out with his gun. I'm presuming he's reloaded it. But Russ gets I'm guessing he had this in the back, I don't know. Or maybe it were left behind from when they spiked his tyres. I don't know, but he gets this out and spikes this car's tyres. There it goes. It goes, woo, rolls a million times. And comes to a stop. So they go running over. There's the fella that were inside. It's Glenn Morshower, who always plays, agents of some sort, either Secret Service or CIA or whatever. He's always some sort of a government agent, isn't he, Glenn Morshower? So there's been loads of films. And in the commentary, the director says that Glenn says he thinks he's been killed more than 90 times in movies. Glenn Morshower. But anyway. There you go. So he's telling them what the crack is. Let's say it's Trixie, Rabda Viridae prototype. It's a germ warfare bioweapon, and he says it were on its way to Texas to be incinerated, but the plane crashed, and now they've got to contain it. So where we learn you've got 48 hours. If you catch it, you're 48 hours, and after that time, you're either dead or you haven't got it. So it kills in 48 hours, and then he says here. Well, it's been 3 days, so it's been longer than 48 hours. Hang on. Does he say it? Where does he say it? There you go. Incubate 48 hours. Either you're dead or you don't have it. Then he says, fine, it's day 3, and we're still talking, so they're fine. So I'm thinking, so why were they saying that Russ, is ill? So I'm thinking he ain't caught it. But we come across them hunters again later. So, and surely they must have, everybody in the town must have, at roughly the same time, started drinking the water. Because that's how it got in through the water supply. So, there won't be that long. There won't be somebody that'll be like days later had a drink out of a tap. They'll have all caught it at more or less the same time. Within a few hours of each other at least. You'd have thought, but whatever. And then Russ just kills him, shoots him in the head, bang. Oh, it's not showing it there. Bang, shoots him in the head. He says, I was talking to him. He says, oh, you talked. So I think he's just gone a bit loopy. But he suspects he might be sick and he might have got it, but I don't know. He's not. They said that they always seem to get nosebleeds, but he don't have a nosebleed, and he don't go veiny. So I think it's just the situation. I think he's just gone crazy, naturally crazy. Anyway, they're looking for stuff, but obviously there's no water or anything, so they have to keep walking, and he takes the rifle off David and. Points guns at him and says, go, I'm in charge, we're walking. Anyway, alright, then he shoots all the bullets out of the rifle and throws the rifle away. Why? Dunno, just does. I say he's gone doolally. Anyway, so they keep walking. And, alright, takes the gun off him. disarms him quite easily. And then he says, "Oh, remember the monster catfish I caught," and all that stuff. So to remind us that he might be all right, but he's just, lost his mind a bit. But anyway, they carry on. They're still headed to Quick Phil's. Anyway, they get to like a roadblock. There it is. And they're not going to be able to get past it without being seen. So Russ volunteers, says, they'll be distracted by me. I'll distract them and you'll sneak past. So off he goes. He gives him his gun. And he takes the bullets out of the gun as well. He don't go in guns blazing. He takes the bullets out of the gun. And he says, as though he's giving himself up, says, "I'm fine, I'm not sick." And they say, "Get down on the ground." But then he gets his gun out, which has no bullets in it. They don't know that, obviously, but it showed him taking the bullets out. So they blow him away. And I don't know. Maybe he thought he was sick. I don't know. But whatever. They blow him away. Giving them time to sneak by. And they just finish him off. As he finished off... I forgot the names. Rory's family. Anyway, right, they've arrived. Look at Quick Phil's, Truck Rest, Food Mart and Fuel Stop. Pickings. It's quite a big place, actually. In the UK, we call them service stations. That's what we call them. Or services. Usually have like a McDonald's with it, or Burger King, or used to be a thing called Little Chef that we had. I don't know if they're still going or not, but anyway, things like that there. A little restaurant, and it's like that's got that sort of thing. There we go. This is in Georgia, I think. They filmed this in Georgia, and they went all over looking for a truck stop that they could film in. Because they need I think they said they need like a week or 2 weeks to film in it for these scenes, and they couldn't find one. They went to ones that were fully operational and open, but none of them were willing to shut down for like 2 weeks because there were businesses that needed to be open 24 hours. Anyway, eventually they found this one that had actually just gone out of business, and it was just closing down. We have a little chef. All right, cool. I didn't know they'd gone over there to the United States. It used to be, used to get little chefs in the UK, but I think it shut down. I think I'm going to check now. I want to know. Maybe they've reopened. They're one of these companies that went bankrupt, and everybody went, "Oh no, not Little Chef." Little Chef restaurant company. Yeah, it says was. What are you doing? No, not now. 2018 went defunct, it says. Yeah, no longer operating in the United Kingdom. Oh, right, there you go. Registered in Kuwait, of all places. Anyway, right, where were we? Yes, they found this place that had just closed down, and they went to it, and actually the owner just happened to be there. Doing like paperwork or whatever, getting things ready for it to be properly shut down. And they negotiated, and he said that they pay him lots of money so they could film there. But they said they were lucky. They said it was a miracle we found this place. So there you go. They just happened to find this out of business truck stop. Anyway, so they're gathering up supplies here. Yes, and she discovers something very grim and dark. There she finds it there. Flies buzzing, that gives you a clue to what she finds. Meanwhile, he's looking around for stuff. He sees a big truck. Yay! We're going to take that truck. But he finds her. She's all sad, and she's got loads of bullet casings, shell casings. And so we see what's happened. And hang on. Then we look. We see lots of incinerated bodies, and they've all got showing them that they've got these little wrist things on. Because earlier on in the film, when they were testing people, the ones that were clear, they were giving them these wrist straps with like barcodes on and stuff, saying, you'll be fine, we're getting you out of town. This is where we've learned they just killed everybody. insert maximum overdrive. That truck with a big goblin on front of it. I'd seen that film for years. Bit of Emilio Estevez. Anyway, so that's where they say, they killed everybody, not just the sick. They Minecrafted the whole town, essentially. And he says, well, we just got to get away. We've got to get to Cedar Falls, which is the nearest big town, and we'll be fine. He says, no, they'll find us and they'll kill us. And he says, well, we've got to try, basically. So they end up having a snog and said, right, okay, let's go for it. So they grab some clean clothes and they're going to try and get this truck to work. Meanwhile, she starts drinking this water, and they were kind of focusing on it. And I was wondering if there was supposed to be a part in this where she's infected herself with this water. I don't know. They should have had a bit, I think, earlier on in the film. When they were showing the montage of the town at the beginning. They should have shown that they had a little water bottle implant. I don't know, I forgot what they call the town now. Ogden's Marsh. Doesn't sound like appetising for water, does it? But Ogden's Marsh water. Freshly bottled. Should have had that, and she should have drunk it and then looked and thought, oh no, I'm infected, but she doesn't. But anyway, he's gathering stuff up. Oh, and he finds a radio that's working. And this is Blackbird 2 and all that stuff. And they go, here's another one as well, and it's in back of this truck. It's the hunter's truck. They've got all the bodies there in the back of the truck. So the hunters are there somewhere as well. And suddenly all the lights go out. Do you drink Sutter cane? I know what you're on. I know Sutter cane is in the mouth of madness, wasn't it? But anyway, whatever. I mean, Jürgen Prochnow was Sutter cane, wasn't he? Anyway, the lights go out and the hunters are hunting them now, but they've gone all veiny now, so they are infected. They're not just bad people, they are infected. There they are, looking for them. Anyway, we're seeing them through the... you can see that they're all veiny. Dead body there, that's somebody they've dispatched. Anyway, so they end up fighting them. There we go. There's somebody there that's dead. They get in the truck. It's the truck driver that's in the truck. And he's found some keys, but it's the wrong keys. They won't start the truck. So he goes checks this body outside, and he's got the keys, but they're fastened to him. But that, one of them cable on keys. And suddenly the bad guys, the hunters, start shooting at him. And somebody drags him down into the underneath, the service pit or whatever it's called. And it's the fella with the mohawk. So he starts eating him and all that. So he gives him a whack. Gives him a whack with the wrench. It doesn't do much. But then he throws the... Hang on, is it this bit? Hang on, where are we? He pushes the... I've gone too far now, haven't I? He pushes the... There's a thing on a roller. That's got lots of oil... An oil pan. That's it. There's an oil pan in it. She shoots... The other hunter comes to check on the truck and Judy shoots him. Is it this bit? There we go. Pushes that thing with the oil pan. There we go. And hits him. And all the oil goes all over him. And earlier on at somewhere, it might have been a few minutes earlier. I can't remember when it was. But he picked up a Zippo lighter. So he sets him on fire with the Zippo lighter. There he goes. Does oil like that, like motor oil, does it actually burn like that? Would you set something on? I remember when I was a kid, and don't do this at home, kids, because I don't know, but we once started a bonfire when I was a kid, and we had like a canister, whatever you call them, of motor oil, 30, 40 oil, whatever, I can't remember what they call it, like Castrol GTX sort of stuff. We thought we'd throw it on the fire to get it going, and we threw it on and it just put it out. So, anyway. But that's set on fire. So they get out. Anyway, there we go. They get the truck out. Get Optimus Prime going. So they're heading out of town. Anyway, meanwhile, listen to the radio. And there's a countdown. Oh no, a countdown's going on. So saying, what's going to happen when it gets to 0? Anyway, we're going to find out in a minute. Oh, right. TDS is active, so Trump derangement syndrome's going. Don't ask me what TDS stands for. Sci-fi quest, I'd know if he were here. But anyway. So they drive along, say, what's going to happen? But that happens. They've blown up the blooming town, look. They've nuked Ogden Marsh. Thankfully, they're like 20 miles away, remember? They're 20 miles out of town. But they still get hit by the blast. Apparently, this is the most expensive CGI in the film. Yes, the Raccoon City directive. Yes, it is. Like in Resident Evil 3. And so they've blown it up. Nuked it, not like in Outbreak, where they used that fuel air bomb, didn't they? A non-nuclear bomb. That's a good film. I've seen that one for a while. Dustin Hoffman, isn't it? And Kevin Spacey. Are we allowed to watch films with Kevin Spacey in now? I don't know, but anyway. So there we go. Blown the town up, and they're going to get. There we go. They're going to get hit. No! Should have had a fridge to hide in, shouldn't they? Like Indiana Jones. Anyway, there you go. They get thrown about a bit, but they're fine. They're fine. Don't worry about radiation and fallout and all that stuff. They just carry on. They get onto the road and have a look at the mushroom cloud. Apparently, this isn't CG. Well, the background is, but this is filmed on the road, and they filmed it. He said it was still daytime, but it must have been like golden hour, so it had this like nice orangey glow about everything. Anyway, oh crikey, let's head to Cedar Falls. I don't know how far Cedar Falls is from. Not Cedar Falls, Cedar Rapids is from Ogden Marsh, but they're walking through the fields. They've changed the clothes. Look what they got from Quick Fills, We Love Iowa, and all that. So there you go. There's Cedar Rapids in the distance. I wasn't sure at first. I thought, is that supposed to be a city, or is it just loads of farm buildings? I don't know, but according to the director, it's supposed to be Cedar Rapids. Nukes never solve an outbreak. Probably just make a worse one. We'll have an outbreak of cockroaches and rats next. Coming from Ogden Marsh. Radioactive ones. Anyway. So they're headed to Cedar Rapids. Is there a place called Cedar Falls? Because it keeps popping in my head. I don't know why. Don't know why that keeps popping in my head. I've probably seen it somewhere. Cedar Rapids. Not Mercury Rapids, Cedar Rapids. Anyway, as they're walking towards it, then we get the good old satellite thing. There we go, radio chatter, and they're being watched from space. There we go. And then it tells us Cedar Rapids, Iowa, population 128,056. And then we see those dreaded words, initiate containment protocol. So they're going to nuke Cedar Rapids as well. And he said Falls. They're going to nuke Cedar Rapids as well. Probably. And then the film ends. There we go. And I really, really like that film. It's really well done. There we go. George Romero got an executive producer credit. I don't think he had much to do with this film, to be honest. But he did the original, didn't he? So there we go. That's the Crazies, the 2010 version. It's really good. I really like it. That's it on the Blu-ray. Hang on, get rid of that. On the Blu-ray, like I said, there's some nice behind the scenes stuff, and there's a documentary about what does it say now? The George Romero template, and they talk about this film and George Romero and what he did, and they talk about his Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead and Land of the Dead and all that, and but they don't talk about they do talk about the Crazies, but they don't show any clips from it, and I don't know why. I don't know why they don't show any clips from it, but maybe they didn't have the rights for the Blu-ray. I don't know, or DVD. So were they infected, or were there others? We need the part 2. Yes, this is it. Leave it open, don't they? Open to interpretation. Cedar Falls is also in Iowa. Oh, right, okay. So I might have seen it somewhere. I've probably seen it in something else. It does ring a bell. So yeah, that's it. I think they're infected. I do. Or they're at least the carriers, aren't they? Maybe her baby's given her some sort of immunity. She's just a carrier of the infection, and now she's going to spread it to Cedar Rapids, and they'll have to blow that town up as well. Maybe. Who knows? But we never got a sequel, did we? Which is fine. Sometimes it's good to just leave it. Leave it up. Let you make your own sequel in your own mind. But are they replicants? No, because their eyes didn't glow, did they? They didn't have eye shine like the replicants do. I think he was a replicant in Blade Runner. I do. Even though Harrison Ford thinks he wasn't, but I think he was. Anyway, whatever. That's a tale for another Monday, maybe. We'll see. Right, so there we go. That's the end of the Crazies. Really, really good film. I really enjoy it. I watched it twice today. Once with the director's commentary, once, normally. And I really enjoyed it. I think it's really good. It's not a long film, hour and 40 minutes, but it goes by really quick. It doesn't mess about. It gets on with it, and it's well worth a watch. So, as I said, if you want to watch it, it's on YouTube. You can buy or rent it on YouTube. It might actually be, the full film on YouTube. Maybe sometimes some people put full films up, don't they? I'm sure it's on other streaming services out there. Or you can get the Blu-ray. Right, we'll leave it there. Oh, hang on. I don't think they are, or they carry, but don't get sick. And we're gonna battle. He was human in Blade Runner. Does it say in Blade Runner 2049, whatever the hell it's called? I don't know, because I've watched it, the sequel to Blade Runner, but I didn't like it. I phased out of it, but anyway. I still think you're a replicant. No matter what, in my head canon, he were a replicant. Otherwise, how would Edward James Olmos know about the unicorn? That's all I want. How would Edward James Olmos know about the unicorn dream? Anyway, we'll leave it there. So, what's coming up next? What day are we on? Friday. Monday. Magnificent Mondays on Monday is going to be this week Space Cowboys with Clint Eastwood and Tommy Lee Jones and James Garner and Donald Sutherland. Yes, we got there. Really, really good film. 2049, they kind of kept us in the dark still. All right. I've seen it once and I wasn't a fan of it. I thought it was boring. But anyway, look nice, and Anna de Almas, look nice. But apart from that, I wasn't a fan. Yes, Space Cowboys is a really good film, so we're doing that on Monday. So I look forward to that. What else? Anything else coming up? Oh, next Wednesday I'll be doing my top 5 and honourable mentions. Favourite films from 1986. So there you go. That's next Wednesday. So that'll be a live one. Like 2049, but it was very slow. I couldn't get into it. But then again, I'm not the biggest fan of the original Blade Runner. I do like it. But I'm not a massive Ridley Scott fan. A lot of his films I do tend to zone out part way through. Most of them, not all of them. I think his best 2 films for me were Black Hawk Down and Gladiator. I think they were his best 2 for me. But obviously we all love Alien and most people love Blade Runner. I do like it. It's like a background film. I like just listening to the audio of it, But anyway, there we go. But that's just me. Right, we'll leave it there. I think we're done now. Yeah, we are. Right, so thanks Justin and Wingrace for keeping me company while I waffle on about the Crazies. So give it a whirl. It's a lot of fun. Could have been better. But it does what it says on the tin. It's a no nonsense flick. Right, so we'll leave it there. As I've just said, I keep repeating myself. I'm sure I'm racking my brain. I'm sure there's something else I'm supposed to do, but I forgot what. I was going to say something. I can't remember what it was. Never mind. Right, I'm going to go now. And I'm going to order something. I'm hungry. And I want something nice. So I'm going to do that. What shall I have? Shall I have a curry? Or shall I have a pizza? Or shall I have a kebab? A doner kebab? I don't know. Shall I do a pole? No, anyway. Right, going. So, as I said, thanks Justin, thanks Wingrace for keeping me company. We'll leave it there. And so, thanks for watching, wherever you are. Don't have nightmares. Hang on, next week's. Have I decided what I'm going to do next week? Have I got anything out? Just bear with me. I'm just checking my little pile of discs that I've got here. No, not got anything out. I'll think of something. Have I got anything in me folder? Right, just bear with me. I want to see if I've anything in me folder for next week. No, there's nothing there either. Jack Frost 2, which we never got round to. I'm not doing Jack Frost 2, it's rubbish. Never mind. Right, I'm going then. Just says, always fun, everyone. That rhymes. Put that to music. Take care, yes. You too, take care. If you're in the east of America, take care. Because of all the snow that you're getting over there. And over in the west, take care of all the fires and stuff. Look after yourselves and stay safe. So thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. By the way, it's cold here. It's really cold. But apparently it's going to get a little bit warmer next week. Or less cold. But anyway, that's us. So thanks for watching wherever you are. Don't have nightmares. And until next time, I'll say this.